Hello, Skele Vaderites and friends of Skele Vader. Today, we have a dilemma. Hammerhead or MOMAW NADON? Okay, so as you saw in the thumbnail for this video, we are looking at the new Black series, and I'm gonna call him Hammerhead because that's the figure, that's the character that I grew up with. One of the most memorable scenes in the history of film is the Star Wars cantina scene. I call it Star Wars because that's my generation. I know it's called A New Hope now, but that Star Wars, that original, unaltered Star Wars cantina scene is one of my favorite moments in film history, favorite several minutes in film history, mainly because of two characters. Actually, I shouldn't say two characters because I like every single oddball that is in that bar. But the two that have always been my favorites from those scenes have been Greedo and Hammerhead. And my action figure of Hammerhead, I think, was a hand-me-down, but I absolutely loved this guy. He's one of the first that I purchased again as an adult collector, and I found him for $3 in a big glass jar of Star Wars action figures. I got Boba Fett, I got Greedo, I got Hammerhead, I got Princess Leia, I got Chewbacca, and Wicket the Ewok, all for $3 each. Now, this is about 6 years ago, 7 years ago now. No. This is about almost 10 years ago at this point. So the times have changed quite a bit in the last 10 years, especially for toy collectors. Now, when Power of the Force came out in the 90s, I was so excited. And when they released Hammerhead, he was called MOMAW NADON, no longer Hammerhead. And for me, not being someone who read the books and explored the lore between my time as a Star Wars fanatic as a little kid, I didn't know that they were going to rename this character, and I guess it makes sense to give this character a name. But my daughter got this from the GameStop that she works at, so thanks again, Gabs. This MOMAW NADON is now in the possession of the Skele Vader collection, and I'm really excited to have a look at this guy, one of my favorites of all time, and it's about time he's been made available in the Black series. The packaging on this is the traditional Black series rectangular box, which is nice to see. It almost feels like a throwback to the first run of Black series figures. But this is really cool. I'm so excited. And here are the numbers for anybody that's trying to find this guy at your local GameStop or wherever he's showing up. Let's go ahead and get him out of the box. All right, if I read the back of the box, this is something that if I had known this as a kid, I may not have been so excited about this character. An exile from Ithor, MOMAW NADON was a rebel sympathizer who cultivated a hidden garden in the mountains south of Mos Eisley. Now, I thought of him as a sort of criminal when I was a kid, so seeing that he's a gardener just outside of Mos Eisley kind of is cute, but not really the Hammerhead that I have loved my entire life. The Hammerhead that I grew up with was a mystery, a strange character with a weird head. I had no idea what he was all about. I had no idea what kind of, if he was a criminal, what kind of criminal, what was he doing in the bar? So now that we know the background or the history of this character to a certain extent, a little bit of the mystery is gone. That's one of my complaints about the newer Star Wars universe, is nothing is mysterious. There is no mystery anymore. Everything has to be explained. Anyways, I'm not so into that. I'm not a huge fan of the newer films and the newer television series. Some of them are pretty great, but and there's some great moments, but the original Star Wars trilogy is really where my heart's at. But let's look at this character. So real close up, you can see he has his strange side mouth. There's a side mouth here too. My daughter pointed out his cute little mouth here, but I didn't ever know that he had a little hole here on his face, maybe to breathe or something like that. Is that one nostril? How interesting. I love being able to see these particular kind of details. He has this cute bandana around the back of his head, obviously probably if this was part of the cantina costume, then maybe this was just to cover up the head of the human being underneath here. But he's got a pretty adorable outfit. We never saw his feet in the original Star Wars movie, so seeing them just like this when the Power of the Force figure came out, interesting. We see a version of that here. I kind of prefer the sort of more skeletal versions of these funky feet in the original action figure. And he's more veiny in the original action figure form as well, which I kind of prefer. I do like all the details on this figure. There's no wash on the costume, but the details are interesting. His little baggies for coins, or at this point now I know maybe these are seeds, and his cute little rope belt. He's got a belt buckle here on this more formal belt, and almost looks like an infinity sign. That's interesting. His ET style fingers, pretty great. He comes with a weapon and multiple cups. These cups are, I believe they're the same cups that came with Bib Fortuna, or something similar to that. I have my Bib Fortuna cups in storage somewhere, but yeah, same cups. I guess that makes sense since he's hanging out at the cantina. And then he comes with a traditional stormtrooper style blaster, which is always cool to see. I love this particular weapon. I put that in his hand and he's able to blast his way out of the canteen if he needs to. But let's look really closely at the head sculpt on this and the paint applications. So look at those eyes. Those are the eyes that I remember from the film. Black with sort of glowing pupils, or jewel-like pupils. And they did that here with just the paint. The face has a nice wash. There's lots of great wrinkles, and the dark washes creeped into those wrinkles to make this seem more realistic. Oh, wait a minute. He's got two nostrils on the back of his head behind his eyes. So what is this little mouth thing here? I guess maybe to sip his beverage? Yeah, maybe. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, there we go. There. All right, well, that is cool. This figure's amazing, actually, for fans of the original films, the original trilogy, especially fans of Star Wars, A New Hope. This figure is great. Try and find him at your local GameStops. I'm not sure where else he's showing up, maybe online. I haven't done any investigation in regard to where else he can be found. But he was about $30 after tax, which is really not that bad for something that looks so good, and also something that we as fans of the original trilogy have been wanting to have for quite a while. So here he is next to his original version, Hammerhead. And you know what, folks? No question in my mind, this will always be Hammerhead. And when I go to Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland, Doc Ondar, I can't help but every once in a while call that character Hammerhead too. All right, folks, thanks so much for watching. This figure's really cool. I've really reduced my Black Series collection to only a few figures. I have the Bounty Hunters, I have Bib Fortuna, C-3PO, Greedo. I think it would be really amazing to see this figure with this color outfit. So Hasbro, this is something that we would love to see as fans. Give him the blue outfit, just like the original action figure, just as a variation or a con exclusive maybe, I don't know. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. You being here means so much to me. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon of the Skele Vader channel, the information is right down below. I do vlogs over there, a little bit extra material for you to consume if you're interested. And then for those of you who are just here, be sure to click like and subscribe. Tell your friends about the Skele Vader channel. I appreciate you for dropping by, and I'll see you in the next video.